Hi everyone. So I have a book that comes in three parts and it's called Why Do Snakes Hiss? The author is Joan Holub. The illustrations are by DiVito and it's published by Scholastic Books. So on the back of the book, you can find out what the book is going to be about. Like if you were at the library wanting to check out a book, you look at the back of the book and there's usually a description. So this description says, do you like snakes, lizards, or turtles? If you do, you're not alone. There's so much to find out about all of these scaly-skinned animals. Like, are all snakes poisonous? Why do snakes shed their skin? What unusual things can lizards do? Do lizards ever lose their tails? Why do turtles have shells? Find the answers and much more in this fun, fact-filled introduction to reptiles. So I'm going to read this in sections. And I'm going to go with the introduction here. It says, many people like snakes, lizards, and turtles. They are the most popular pet reptiles, but some people are afraid of them. Other well-known reptiles are crocodiles, alligators, and tortoises. All reptiles have scaly skin and are cold-blooded. So they're not like humans. They need to be out in the sun to get their bodies warm. So how are reptiles born? Almost all reptiles hatch from eggs. A baby snake, lizard, or turtle has a sharp tooth called an egg tooth. It uses this to crack open its eggshell. Newborn reptiles are called hatchlings. They can take care of themselves as soon as they hatch. So here's the turtle hatchling and a snake hatchling. And there's an iguana hatchling. So the first section I'm going to read is about snakes in this video. So this tells the red-tailed racer, when there's bold words right there near something, that's going to tell you what that thing is. And this little boy has a python around his neck. Would you do that? So how many kinds of snakes are there? There are about 2,600 kinds of snakes. Some well-known snakes are king snakes, garter snakes, cobras, pythons, and rattlesnakes. What are the biggest and smallest snakes? The longest snake is a reticulated python. It can grow up to 33 feet long. An anaconda is the thickest snake. The biggest one ever found measured 44 inches around. There's the anaconda. A thread snake is the smallest snake. It is only about 4 inches long and it is thin as a toothpick. Snakes never stop growing. The longer a snake lives, the bigger it gets. Wow, what if humans did that? There'd be some really tall people. Why do snakes shed their skin? Well, this one they're showing is a milk snake, and so you can see that skin that's being shed by that snake. Snakes shed their skin when they outgrow it. This is called molting. The old skin breaks open and turns inside out in one piece as the snake moves forward and out of it. Snakes molt several times a year. This question asks, why do snakes hiss? Some snakes hiss or make other noises to scare enemies away. A rattlesnake shakes the end of its tail to make a rattling sound that warns, "Leave me alone!" A corn snake moves its tail in dry leaves to make a rattling sound. This can trick an enemy into thinking it's a poisonous rattlesnake. Do all snakes have fangs? Most snakes have 4 rows of small pointed teeth in the top of their mouths and 2 rows in the bottom. Only poisonous snakes have sharp, hollow teeth called fangs. The fangs of some snakes fold in along the tops of their mouths. When the fangs are needed, they flip down and inject poison. We're showing one of the most famous ones, a rattlesnake. So are all snakes poisonous? Most snakes are not poisonous, but may bite to protect themselves. Sea snakes are the most poisonous snakes. Other poisonous snakes include rattlesnakes, adders, copperheads, cottonmouths, and cobras. Spitting cobras can spit poison as far as 7 feet away. This is showing you the spitting cobra. You can see that poison coming right out of its mouth. They use that to protect themselves. So how do snakes eat, you might be wondering? This one's a green tree python, and you can see what's that in its mouth. A snake can open its jaw wide enough to eat something 3 times bigger than its own head. Snakes swallow their prey whole. So he's got a mouse, and that's probably his dinner. Muscles push the food along inside the snake, where it sits like a lump until it's digested. It can take weeks for a snake to digest a large meal. A boa constrictor squeezes its prey until it dies from lack of air, then eats it. So they're showing you kind of a cartoon picture here. This snake, can you tell what's inside? Here's a clue. So how do snakes move? They don't have legs. Snakes push their bodies against rough ground to move. They can't travel across smooth surfaces such as ice or glass. Most snakes can't go backward. They have to turn around to move in a new direction. Different snakes move in different ways. Here's a sidewinder. We'll find out why it's called that. Some snakes throw their bodies sideways. Some grip the ground with their muscles and scales to creep along in a line. Other snakes coil up, then stick out their heads to pull the rest of their bodies forward. Some snakes move like a wave. Almost all snakes can swim. So you can see that sidewinder. He's all kind of curled up, then he stretches out, and then he curls up. So how well can snakes smell, see, and hear? So how do they use their senses? Smell is a snake's most important sense. A snake smells mostly with its tongue, not its nose. Its tongue darts out to take smells into its mouth. Most snakes don't see or hear well, but can feel the movement and warmth of a nearby animal. Snakes don't have eyelids that shut, so it's hard to tell if they're asleep. In the other snake book I read, it said they have a clear covering that comes down over their eyes to protect them. It doesn't say what kind of snake this is. Look at the pattern on that. Interesting. Okay, that's it for now. Our next section is going to be about lizards, and the last section will be about turtles. Thanks for listening.